Hi guys, in this session we're going to look at the 3 keys to making impactful things happen in the world. And if you did the exercises of the previous sessions, you should be right now in a place of curiosity, at least a slight opening, or wondering about, hey, maybe there is something new for me to see in this direction. You might find that those 2 exercises, those 2 moments of reflection might be the most impactful thing for you to take away from the course. I'm going to share with you 3 things that I think are essential when we are about to create something in the world, when we have an idea and we want to make it happen. And the first one is so essential that if I only had 1 key, I would keep this one. And it is presence. It is showing up to life, being there as you create. This might sound silly, this might sound redundant, but the truth is that 90% of the time, as we're trying to create something, we are not there. And then we wonder, like, well, I didn't show up to work, but then now I wonder, why did the work not get done? And of course, as you can probably guess, I'm not talking about the physical presence. Like, I know you might say, no, I did go to work, or no, I sat at my desk in front of a blank page for like 5 hours and the business plan didn't come out. But if you slow down a second, what you're gonna find is that you're probably in your head considering, rejecting, editing, censoring, doubting, being insecure about something. Or even if you feel like quite confident, secure, maybe you're kind of like thinking about what are other people, how is this going to be received, or even for your own standard, is this good enough? Is it, or you might be comparing it with something that worked in the past. It's like, wow, this is not as good as my previous book, and no, this is not right. Let me, we're doing all of this mental work, and the more we're in our head, the less we are in the world engaging with our creation. In this context, right, within this conversation about making things happen, we could even say that at any given moment, you're either creating results or you're in your head. Let that sink. Let that sink and explore it for yourself. See what you find. Because understanding that sentence might be the most powerful thing that will allow you to be unstoppable in terms of creating whatever you want in life. The second key is intention. When I say intention, I mean a sense of direction. We can live a beautiful, incredible, fulfilling life by simply being present. My sense at the moment is that when we add intention into the mix, what happens is that it gives us a sense of direction. And intention is not goal setting, it's not a smart goal, you don't need to visualize it, but it's more of a vague destination you're moving purposely towards. It's the sense of, I really would like to make this business grow. And that's it. That's where we stop. We don't need to make up things we don't know in order to have an intention. This is the most freeing and beautiful thing. Think about it. We've been told that in order to succeed, you need a goal. You need to know everything. It needs to be timely and measurable and blah and blah and blah. But most of the times, we have no idea on how the final product will look like. We have no idea how the business, the shop we're opening, the whatever will be once we're done, because a lot of things that we don't know yet about will happen along the way. People will meet, events, chances, opportunities, new ideas mostly. We don't have access to any of that because they didn't happen yet, but they will shape our final product. The idea that we know exactly how our product, our result is going to look like when it's done, it doesn't make sense to me. So what we do, because we think we have to, is we make up stuff. But know that you don't need to, and that it's not necessarily helpful or relevant, and it's not going to increase or decrease your chances of creating something impactful in the world. All you need is a vague destination, it's an intention, it's the desires, the resolve of saying, you know what, I'll do this. And the third key is taking one step at a time, knowing that you don't know. Being aware that there is a difference between setting an intention, so saying, I want to write this book, and thinking that you know how books are written, or actually that you know how this specific book will be written. There is a difference between setting an intention, deciding to do something, and trying to look for the right way of doing it, or even thinking there is one. So it is possible, it is entirely possible to move towards an objective of yours without having a clue on how you're going to get there. It's so hard to focus on the step we're taking because we're already imagining, what's going to happen in 20. And actually, becoming good at taking one step at a time is the key to making impactful things happen. It's incredible how many resources we use, time and energy, into figuring out the right way or checking. We take a step. It's like, okay, but am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? Are we there yet? How am I gonna know if this is right? Like, I can't tell you, so many clients, but me too, of course. But from outside, it's easier to see. How my clients would eventually, sooner or later, ask me, either, is this right? Am I on the right path? Or say things like, oh, you know what? Thanks for saying that because now I know I'm the right path. All I'm saying is, if you can free yourself from the idea there is one, you become unstoppable. Because the only thing preventing us from playing full out, so be present and showing up fully, engaging with what we're doing, having an intention, a resolve, and being connected to it, to the desire of creating something in the world, and taking a step at a time and focusing on that step fully. The only thing preventing us from this is what we think we know. Because that's preventing us from surrender to the present moment. There's nothing you're ever gonna create that is not in the present moment. So why not hang out there a bit more often? The hope, closing this video, that I want to show it is to know that bringing the best part, like, to me, there's nothing cooler than thinking that you can bring the very best of you. You can bring the very best of you all the time, anywhere you want. You can be inspired and connected and creative. You can make people fall in love with you. You can be attractive, and you can be attracted. You can impact and inspire and be inspired anytime you want, because that's not something you need to do. That is who you are. And the only reason that we don't do that is because we are often busy thinking or doing something else instead. But if we allow ourselves to drop back into our nature, into the present moment, you have no idea. I promise you'll be surprised. Please try to just reflect on these three keys and see the magic that will happen. And I know it might sound too simple, but look, try to see what happens if you try to be present, show up fully in the moment with an intention and surrender to just taking one step at a time. I see you for the next and last session, and have fun. Happy exploration. Bye.